Okay, hi guys. So, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm going to be doing a baking video for hitting 100K on TikTok. So, I have my friend Taylor here that's going to help me, and she's going to be reading me the questions from my phone, and we're going to be answering while baking a Lightning McQueen cake. Lightning McQueen cake. Can you reach it? Short problems. A Lightning McQueen cake. This is what we're making. Okay, first I'm gonna preheat the oven.
Oh yeah.
350.
Alright, first question. Justin_Bowser05 asks, what's your favorite thing to race? What's your favorite thing to race?
Okay, my favorite thing to race would probably be the Stadium Super Truck. That was probably the most fun. Just jumping the truck is something that like you'll never, it's not like every other type of racing. Like it's just so different. So that I would say that's my favorite.
Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Killbroth1 asked, if you could drive any car ever, what would it be?
A Formula 1 car for sure.
I knew that was gonna be your answer. I knew it before you even asked it.
Oh yeah, a Formula 1 car for sure. What track you ask? The Monaco Grand Prix.
Actually, Panzer Paul said, what is your favorite thing about racing?
Probably the adrenaline. I love the adrenaline in racing. I love the atmosphere. I think I love everything about racing, so that's a really hard question to ask. But I also love traveling to like different tracks and stuff. And just the fact that I can drive a race car at 180 miles an hour.
Grace_Parkington asked, when and how did you get into motorsport? And said, I love you, by the way, you are inspiring.
Oh, I love you. And I started racing when I was 11 years old in karting. So that's how I, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, so let me just restart that question since that happened. So I started racing when I was 11 years old. I started in karting. I had a close friend of mine that had a kart, and then they let me drive it, and I really thought I was a gymnast at the time, so I really thought that I wasn't gonna like it, and I was like, it's gonna be boring or whatever. And I ended up really liking it, so my parents eventually got me a kart, and then I did it locally for a while, and then moved up the ladder. But yeah, so I just started in karting. That's how I got interested in the whole motorsport atmosphere.
Luca55 said, what is your favorite track?
I think Coda. So Coda is in Austin, Texas. I think it's just a legendary track because Formula 1 races there. So the fact that like we can race there is just like really cool to me. My second favorite track might be VIR. I really like VIR, which is in Virginia. But yeah, those are my two favorite tracks. I really want to drive Laguna Seca though. I feel like I'll really like that track.
That's a good one because I don't think even I know this answer.
Ooh.
Aaron_AH31 said, if you could race in any series except F1, which would you choose?
Oh, IndyCar.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah, I think I love IndyCar because they all race in the US too, so it'd be fun to go to all the tracks there.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of street courses. So I would definitely pick IndyCar and race the Indy 500.
Yeah, I totally knew that.
You just forgot.
I asked you, when are you going to get a suit that fits?
What? Okay, this is actually a funny story because so I raced in the Saline Cup in 2019, and they got me a 30. I don't even know what the sizing was, right? European sizing is like different for me, but I got one of the basic sizes, and if you know me, I'm 5'1". Suits usually don't fit me. So this Saline Cup suit, it wasn't fitted towards me. It was like a basic size, and I was literally drowning in it. Like I'll insert a picture. I'm literally drowning in it, but I have a custom suit coming, so thank you very much.
Diego1257 said, best place to go karting in AZ for people who don't own them.
Okay, so indoor karting, yeah. Indoor karting would be Octane. I love Octane. It's kind of by my house. We always go. It's so fun. I love pretending.
It's super easy and it's cheap too. It's super affordable.
Yeah,
it's like
affordable.
$22 for a race.
Yeah.
Which is super affordable.
Yeah, it's super affordable. And then if you wanted to go outdoor karting, there's a track called Phoenix Kart Racing Association. They do rental karts there. It's a little more expensive. If you wanted to do more serious karting, that's where I would recommend going. But indoor karting, Octane is a great place. Go there all the time just to mess around and pretend that I don't know how to race and then beat everybody. Okay, now we're making frosting for all the details on the cake. Yep, so my camera died, but we're back. The cake is done. We put it in the pan. She's all cooked, she's cooling. But right now I'm going to cut these.
Okay, F1 obsessed _ 44 _ 4 _ 63 asks, what advice would you give to girls trying to get into the motorsport community?
Getting into the motorsport community for anybody is getting connections through people. So I would say if you wanted to get into the motorsport industry, you should go to races where even if you didn't really want to go watch that race or whatever, you're going to make connections to move forward in the racing industry. So I would say connections is the most important for not just girls, anybody.
All right, we're gonna flip it. And I hope it turns out good. I'm nervous.
I think it's going to turn out great.
F1 Ali said, what is your best race memory?
My best race memory would be VIR when I scored my first points in Formula 4. I got in the top 10. I think I finished 7th or 8th or something. And that was the first time I ever scored points in Formula 4. So that was like a big point in my career.
B5 _ Audi _ S4 said, what is your fastest lap around Road America?
So I've only raced at Road America in a Stadium Super Truck, so I wouldn't say I have a fastest lap around there because the trucks we jump and stuff, so I wouldn't know the fastest lap around Road America, but it's a good question. This year I might be able to tell you.
Lucy _ F1 said, who is your biggest inspiration growing up?
Yeah, my mom, probably.
Yeah.
Probably both of my parents, but both of my parents have inspired me in different ways to kind of do whatever.
I feel like both
do
your
what I
parents
want.
are really involved.
Yeah, they're both really involved in my racing. They both help me through a lot of stuff.
I'm trying to get
My
this to
parents
come out.
both help me through ooh, it's hot. My parents are my biggest inspiration. They help me through everything. They help me through racing. We all do it ourselves. They don't have managers or anything, so they teach me a lot. Elias,
hopefully I'm saying that right, Ortiz 318 said, are you going to the F1 race in Texas?
I think so. I'm not sure yet because it's still kind of far away, but I want to race it this year, but with one of the support races, but if not, I'll probably end up going anyway. Come out. I just don't know what part of it is just not coming out.
I don't know either.
Oh, it's out.
Oh, okay.
He's not even red.
He's literally brown. He looks like chocolate. Manvella something racing, sorry I'm gonna butcher your name, asks, have you ever raced a 206? If you haven't, do you want to?
Yes, I used to race L206 when I was younger. I think it's a great learning class for when you're moving up in karting. So yeah, I have raced it. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. We had a big field here too when we raced it in Phoenix, so it was a lot of fun. I think it teaches you a lot about rolling speed and carrying momentum and stuff.
Julian.Rabago asked, how does iRacing help you with real racing, and could iRacing propel someone into real cars?
I think iRacing has helped people get seats in racing. I'm not sure exactly how. I'm just learning about iRacing recently through the whole COVID thing. So iRacing, in my opinion, helps me learn more of the track versus, because when you first start racing, you have to go to a lot of tracks that you've never been to, right? There's a first for everything. So I think iRacing has helped me learn the track before I actually go and kind of learn braking points and stuff like that. We put this in the freezer because we outlined it. Let me show you. We put it in the freezer and we outlined it, and then we went to lunch, and now we're back.
Yeah. Carter Nation 18 asks you, will we ever see you compete in any form of NASCAR racing?
I'm not opposed to it, but as of right now, I haven't had the opportunity to, therefore I don't think so. But I would definitely be open to it. I think it would be fun to drive some oval,
Some circle tracks. Hajar, God, I butchered your name, _ Mac. Do you think that it's hard for girls to be a part of racing?
Personally, I don't think so. I don't find it different. I find it just, racing is challenging whether you're a boy or a girl. It's just a hard sport to get into. It's hard to find funding.
Like Ryan asked you.
Ryan Charteau.
Yes. Where or what was the most fun place to hang with friends after the race?
So we'd always hang out at my friend Ryan's RV. It was so fun. We had a great time. Yeah, we would just always hang out in there. We would mess around, and then when it was time to go out for our session, we would just pack it up and go out.
Pack it up.
I think we're doing such a good job.
Zoey, I need help.
Oh my God, Taylor.
M_GB04 asked you, who's your biggest idol in racing?
My biggest idol, I have a couple. I'd say Danica Patrick is one of the girls that made it super successful in racing, so I look up to that. But I also look up to Lewis Hamilton because he's really super successful in Formula One.
Someone asked you, what is your dream sponsor?
I love Essentia Water. I would love to be sponsored by Essentia.
Oh my God, imagine.
I would love to be sponsored by
Okay, what do I do with this?
TikTok. I would love to be sponsored by this clothing company called LF. I use a lot of their clothes. I'm sorry if you can hear that. That just sucks.
Split times _ asked you, what do you think of Extreme E? Would you consider it with your super truck experience?
Yeah, I actually am following Extreme E right now. I've watched their races. It's all electronic and it's like rally car racing. So I actually would love to race that. I think I love driving Can-Ams in dirt and stuff, so I think I would be pretty decent at it. But I think it's a great step in the racing direction, like to go electric and stuff. I think that's super interesting. Yeah, they're actually really cool cars. I actually like them a lot. I would love to see them in person and then drive one. So I would definitely love to race one of those.
Sam.Zintel asked you, what is your ultimate goal with racing?
I think my ultimate goal would obviously be Formula One. Another dream of mine would to be win the Daytona 24-hour and race in the Indy 500 and obviously win Indy 500.
Said, would you rather drive Formula One or IndyCar?
Formula One for sure, because you get to travel all over the world and race all over the world. And it's obviously the highest level of racing you can get into. And then my second choice would be IndyCar.
That same person asked, will you be competing in an FIA F3 series within the next few years?
Maybe within the next few years. I can't announce any plans this year yet.
F1 Ali said, what do you like most about racing?
I'd say another reason why I like racing is you kind of learn a lot of different things. Like you learn like the business side of racing. You learn obviously how to drive. There's just so many different things. And then I just love the adrenaline. And I like how it's like a community.
What's your favorite movie except for Cars?
Like Disney movie or movie in general?
Any movie in general.
I like The Art of Racing in the Rain. Have you watched that?
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. You would actually like it. It's about like a dog and stuff and racing.
Cameron.A_ said, if you didn't do motorsport, what sport would you play?
I would be in gymnastics. I used to do gymnastics when I was younger before I started racing. So I definitely thought I was going to be in the Olympics, and that took a whole turn, obviously.
How expensive do you say it is to start in karting and possibly become an F4 or 3 driver?
Definitely racing is an expensive sport. So if you could get like local sponsors, I know a lot of people get like sponsors by their parents, friends, even if it's just 50 bucks here, 50 bucks there, like in that sense. But to be an F4, you definitely want a sponsor. Most teams have sponsors too that help out. One last one.
All right, we'll do an advice question. This person wants a little bit of advice from you.
All right, I'll give some
Formula_Swerve said, I'm doing quite well in karting, but how do I get that extra bit out of the cart? Just those few tenths.
I would say a lot of it can be cart setup with those extra couple tenths, or weather. If your kart isn't running well, it can always be in the carburetor or whatever. But I would say be smooth with your hands and hit your marks every single lap to be consistent, and that would get you an extra 10, because people forget to be smooth with their hands and be consistent in karting. It actually looks so good.
Here it is. Don't mind how messy, but I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. If you ask me, I would eat it. All right, guys, thank you for watching my YouTube video, my Q&A. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Follow me at all my socials on, I'll put them all right here so you can follow me on everything. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video and enjoyed our little baking sesh, even though it was a bit of a mess. My camera kept dying. And thank you, Taylor, for being here and helping me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.